Moving further on the Avengers, I got Captain America. 2 of them. For a reason. Let's do it. So I've been looking to put an Avengers on the shelf. I gotta be honest, I need to do a video where we talk about the figures I need, where I really kind of piece out exactly what it is I think I want from Avengers, but I knew, without any question, Captain America was part of it. Now, I tried to get the 80th anniversary Captain America. That was the one I wanted. I mean, it just seemed right. But it didn't work out. And it's that simple. It didn't work out. I wanted it. I tried to get one. He was overpriced. I feel like with the release after 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 release of the Iron Man that is currently in Walmart and Target to a deafening degree, and the Iron Spider-Man from the MCU, which follows the exact same trend of peg warming at an alarming rate, we could have seen a Captain America. Like, the Celebration figures are it, man. If you want to keep something on the shelf, and I guess we're going into a bit of a rant early, if you want to keep something on the shelf that makes sense, people don't want that Iron Man. I'm sorry. Everybody that wants it has already got it. And if they don't got it, he's easily obtainable. Let's move on. Same with that Iron Spider-Man. I just don't see it. But the anniversary Captain America, probably the best one you ever released up to this point. I mean, where's he? Going further than that, that anniversary Thor, like the Thor, the absolute definitive Thor, the dream Thor, where's he? How come the anniversary figures are not absolute productions? How come they're not peg warming? Because I gotta be honest, I would buy a couple of those Thors. I would buy one for me and one for my dad. And for that matter, if you had these kinds of legacy characters, because legacy characters should be on the shelf and available, personally. And why not make the very best version of those legacy characters, the ones that are absolutely guaranteed to catch attention? That anniversary Thor, that's Thor. That's how people see him. That anniversary Captain America, that's how people see him. A Spider-Man on the shelf, arguably just about any Spider-Man would be fine. There are great Spider-Men. I'm just saying you will sell a Spider-Man. But like, a lot of people are actually looking for that definitive version of a character, and you have them and they're like unobtainable, aside from the secondary market. That kind of blows me away, in all honesty. Like, it honestly blows me away. So I tried to get one and I couldn't get one. Not without going to the secondary market and paying real money. And then, Secret Wars said, we're doing a Captain America. And I seen it. I saw the entire Secret Wars lineup. There's a black suit Spider-Man. I don't need him right now. I've got one. We've talked about him. And I don't feel like they've made enough advancement for me to replace him yet. I don't know. Maybe realistically, if I saw that black suit Spider-Man on a shelf, I would say, he is good. And I would pick him up. But as it stands right now, I don't know. This Captain America was basically exactly what I wanted anyway. A little lesser, I would argue, but exactly what I wanted. Iron Man, I'm not feeling it, but you know I'm not an Iron Man fan. That Wolverine, that's tough. I have the orange-brown Wolverine, and I really like him. But I also loved that X-Men 97 Wolverine. And this is kind of that, but in the classic suit. And like, that one's tough for me. As of now, I have passed it by, but if I came across that in a store and I had the money in my pocket, I'm not going to say I wouldn't. Titania, I'm going to be honest. I mean, I know her, but aside from her being a big muscle mommy, basically, I don't have any kind of real attachment, so... And then, of course, there's Marvel's Beyonder. Cool, but in all honesty, the Secret Wars was not something that exactly, like, excited my emotions. So, at the same time, it's cool that some of these characters exist, but in this wave, I knew what I wanted. This Captain America. This was my chance. It was basically what I wanted, missing some of the extra stuff, and I think I can live with that. Am I going to be disappointed? I don't know. I'll have to open him to find out. So why this Captain America? Well, for one, when they did the Ultimates universe back in the 2000s, and they basically rebooted Marvel, I was really into Ultimate Spider-Man. I was really into the Ultimates. I really liked the Ultimate Universe when it started. I thought it was absolutely solid. And I was very excited to see where it went. My excitement died as the books grew. That's fair. But I actually really liked this Captain America. I liked his design, I liked his attitude, I liked this. And I went to the Overstock. He was $15. Made sense to me. Perfect. Here he is. And I would argue that at the time, this is probably one of the best Captain America sculpts I ever saw. And I kind of need him. Because there is a problem with the Secret Wars Captain America. And I don't know how many people are actually talking about it. And we've brought it up before. And we're going to bring it up again. Let's see these captains. Alright, so let's start right here with Ultimate Captain America. First off, he comes with this. I don't care. I didn't buy him for this. I'm never going to do anything with this. This will go in a bag of other spare parts, and that's the end of that. He comes with 2 punching hands for punching. He comes with an alternate head, which I actually like. It's stern. It doesn't play around. But it's very much just a Captain America head. And then, of course, we have the shield. This is the absolute trademark shield. The colors seem decent. I could argue I'd like them to be a little brighter, but this Captain America very much had this kind of shield. Oh, battery's about to die. Be right back. There. Now, this Captain America, first off, I just think he's good. I mean, there's no way around it. This is good. This is an absolutely terrific sculpt. Like, the way all of this is grafted in, the texture in the stripes, like this, the belt, Captain America's design in the Ultimates was good. I mean, there's no way around it. It was good. I think that this is one of the best designs in the entire Ultimate Comics line. How much do I really have to say about him? This Captain America was the hard ass. I mean, I said it before. If you ever read the Ultimates, if you ever read the beginnings of the Ultimate Universe, this Captain America was nobody's joke. It was good. He was good. I like this. I like the mesh here on the under part here, and really getting him, like seeing him in a 3D representation where I can really look him over and actually see just how cool this guy really looked. Aside from, just being on paper, it is a treat for the eyes. He was a little bit of a darker character, and I can see that in him, but I can also see that there's some real-world aspect that I really appreciate. And if you look this guy over, you'll notice that a lot of details and whatnot, a lot of ideas were taken from this costume to do the first Captain America movie. And you know what? I appreciate it, because while this is still very much Captain America, it also has a very real-world feel, and I honestly really appreciate that, and always have. He is absolutely solid. I have no reason to complain. He will make a fine addition to the shelf, and it is time to check out the Captain America, the one I'm here for. And here is Secret Wars Captain America. And I have to say, this is it for me. Regardless of how much I like Ultimate's Captain America, when I think about Captain America, it has first and foremost always been this. This is him. This is exactly what I want. It is, without a doubt, the quintessential Captain America design. I like the color. I like the suit. I like the scale. I even like the friendly gesture, the face. Captain America is one of those heroes that, while at the same time that he could wreck you, he's kind of like Superman. He's the approachable guy. You're not really going to approach Iron Man. Like, he's so far above you. But Captain America is just a dude. Even though he was given the powers he was given, he's just a dude. Like, all of this works for me. I like the fins. That's always been a thing for me with Captain America. I like the fins. The sculpt is really solid. There's a lot more detail in this guy back here. But at the same time, something about not having all that detail doesn't actually bother me when it comes to a classic Captain America. This very much is a classic hero with a classic design, and it's everything I want it to be. He's very simple, but at the same time, that's kind of what makes him fantastic, right? There's something about a pulp hero looking like a pulp hero that just feels authentic. I like him. I like him a lot, and there's just no way around it. Couple of things. He comes with a pointer finger. I'm kind of into that. I like that. He comes with 2 gripping hands. And I don't know what to think about that, because what's he gripping? Like, they're not trigger fingers or anything like that, so he's not about to have a gun or anything, so I guess if I have something I can give him, he can hold it, but I don't know what that would be. He has a salute hand or a straight hand. Either way, that's cool. Everything from a karate chop to a straight-up salute, this works. That's a decent enough hand. There's no reason to cry about it. It's a good accessory for Captain America to have. And he has an unapproachable, angry face for when he has to lay down the law on people and throw that shield. So far, everything checks out. This guy is great. He's missing 2 things. Let's talk about what he does have before we go into that. He has the broken shield. This is monumental. Secret Wars, broken shield. A shattered Captain America shield holds a weight that is nearly indescribable. It is brutal feeling to know that this shield has shattered. There is a problem with the shield. It won't go together. You can't, there's no attachment pieces here. It just comes with two parts of the shield that are broken, which is cool for photography photography ideas. I can use this. That is cool. It could be parts on the ground while he's holding what's left of the shield. And that works. And it's cool. But now we get into the two things he doesn't have. One of them is very simple. He doesn't have this hand. Sound like a big deal? Maybe not. As far as I'm concerned, this hand right here is the shield throwing hand. You want him to be able to throw the shield, right? That's a shield throwing hand. And I would argue, just like the web shooter, every Captain America should come with a shield throwing hand. And if he doesn't have it, he's missing something vital. He's not going to throw the shield with this. He's not going to throw the shield with this. He's not going to throw the shield with these. And he's not going to throw the shield with punching hands. He's missing a vital part of Captain America, the shield throwing hand. And then here comes the main argument, because it's the second item he's missing. You would say, well, Bill, he doesn't need a shield throwing hand because his shield is broken. And at this point, he's not throwing the shield. He's defending himself for his very life. And I would tell you, the second item he is missing is the biggest argument I have about this figure. He's missing the shield. I get it. He has a shield. It's an iconic shield, right? This is cool. And if you needed to add $1 or $2 to the cost, I would have paid it. Not everybody has 7 Captain Americas. For some people, and myself included in this argument, this was going to be my first Captain America. And if things had gone the way I wanted, the only Captain America on the shelf. But it was either A, buy the 80th anniversary for all the extra money, or B, buy a second Captain America for no other reason than to get a shield. I was lucky that Ultimate Captain America was something that I honestly liked and would appreciate having on the shelf. And there's an Ultimate Iron Man coming, which is kind of cool because in a way I can build out some Ultimate characters. There's an Ultimate Wolverine coming. There's something to be said for being able to build out the Ultimate line of figures that I grew up really liking the Ultimate Universe at the beginning. So that's cool. So one could argue that for me, this worked out. For some people, it does not. Personally, I feel that every single figure should be treated as though it is somebody's first figure. Now, there are arguments to be had about this. But every Spider-Man should come with these. Every single one of them. Without question. If your Spider-Man comes with one wall-crawling hand and a punch, and nothing else, he's never shooting webs. One could argue every Spider-Man should come with a web effect, even if it's simple. I know we're getting into craziness now because we're starting to make demands. Every Black Widow should come with a weapon. Probably, if nothing else, the blast effects for her wrists, or at least the handguns. Punisher should come with such. Spider-Man should come with these. Captain America should always have that throwing shield hand. And he should have his shield. When you release a Star Wars figure, because this comes back to something we've talked about before. When we opened Tarkin, he came with a blaster hand and no blaster. I have extra blasters. It's not a problem for me. I'm not a huge Star Wars collector. But I'm lucky enough to have one shelf right there that has some Star Wars on it. And I have a couple of blasters. It worked out for me. But in this case, it would not have. If I had got just him, just this Captain America. For one, I will not have that hand. That hand it's not going to be a thing, period. Because this red glove here is not the same as those red gloves there, and the swap will be noticeable. So I'm not going to have a shield throwing hand. Even if I get a shield, I will not be able to take pictures where it looks like he threw the shield. That's dead to me without buying another Captain America. Putting a third one on the shelf just to get the hand. I'm not saying it needs to have a shield throwing effect. And I'm not saying every figure should come with everything. Not every figure should be the current upcoming Maximum Spider-Man, where it comes with a web ball and a web line and a stand for the web ball and an effect and everything else. But the quintessentials of each character should always be included. If you're going to give a broken shield, there should have been another shield behind it in the packaging, which was a regular shield. It should have been there. The figure feels incomplete when it is not. And I do feel like there are certain characters that simply make this argument. If you're going to release a Thor, he better have Mjolnir. He better have it. If he doesn't come with it, and there's some special moment that this was back when he didn't have the hammer or so on, but he still looks exactly like the Thor that we know, but he didn't have the hammer at this, I don't care, give him the hammer. There are arguments that I will make about this. Certain characters need certain things. They should come with those things. End of story. It makes this Captain America feel incomplete. I'm not saying every Captain America should come with that hood, where if you swap the head and he has a... Because there's no unmasked head here. That was another reason I wanted the 80s one, was the 80th anniversary one, is because there was an unmasked head and it even had the flap where like you could put the flap on so it looked like he actually took the hood off or whatever. Kind of like the Wolverine 97 came with where he could take the hood off and it actually... That's cool. That's a cool effect. Do I think every single character every single one of these figures deserves that much treatment? No. But I do think the quintessentials should be included with every single character. There are certain things that are not even up for questioning. They should come with the figure. Spider-Man needs climbing hands, punching hands, web hands. Every one of them. Without question. Captain America, every Captain America should come with a shield throwing hand and a shield. Every one of them. Maybe there's an argument to be made against the ones that are like, he has a tower shield. Maybe you could argue that Captain America, maybe he doesn't come with it because it doesn't make sense, which then might repivot my argument back to his shield is broken. He doesn't need the throwing hand because, but this is also somebody's first Captain America, and we should always assume that that's true. So then that repivots us back to my argument and says, I think there's an argument to be had here that he's incomplete. A great figure. A great figure. I am happy with what I got. But I am going to call it out just the same. And that is Captain America added to the shelf. Let me know what you think about this argument. You think I'm right? You think every character should be treated, every figure should be treated as though it's somebody's first? Or do you think maybe I'm getting a little ridiculous and I should just drop the money to get the best version all the time? I would argue that mentality doesn't hold true. Maybe you do. Made more sense for me financially to buy this and have a solid Captain America than it did for me to spend the upwards of $80 or more to get the 80th anniversary one, even though the 80th anniversary one arguably is the one that I would have been more happy with. That's arguable. I could have got him in my hands, and who knows, maybe if I went out of my way now and I bought him, I would very much get him in my hands and say, well, there's really not that much of a difference. Now I just bought him for parts. Let me know. I'm going to get out of here.